Well, hello all. This is Cruiser again. I'm just a guy and lives in a city called Elgin near Chicago. Um, I like to jam and play guitar. I want to demonstrate my Epiphone dot here. It's a little dirty. Don't talk. A little dirty. Um, so what we've done to this is some modifications to this guitar. It's had the volume pots changed out, the tone pots changed out, and it has the orange cap capacitors put in. So it's pretty much like an ES335. The only thing I haven't changed is the input jack yet, or the selector switch. So we'll see how that goes for a while. I think this might be starting to go bad on me, but we'll give it a shot and see if it works here. So now you get a little taste of what it sounds like a little bit. I hope I'm all in tune. What we're playing through here is a Boss Chorus, a CE5, and we're going directly into that, and we're going from that into a very old Digitech RP1 processor, and we've got it set to one of the preset channels because I kind of like this one. It's got a good vibe to it. There's two of them I'll show that I like that are pretty good. And we're going into a very old, nice little old amp here, a Gibson Falcon, a 1963 Gibson Falcon with the original Jensen speaker in it. It has been retubed. I have the original tubes. I put groove tubes in it and some Sovtex, I think. And what we have here is not one of my favorite amps, but I just use it for a cleaner, darker sound. See, I play in stereo. I come out of the processor in stereo, and I go one to each amp. And this has a brighter tone to it, and this has a darker tone to it. So that's how we get this. So, I thoroughly enjoy playing this guitar through this particular setup. The guitar, again, getting back to the guitar, these pickups were actually given to me a long time ago by a friend of mine who I don't really see too much anymore because he's kind of fell off the face of the earth. But he ordered a whole bunch of stuff from Sweetwater. And he got like a Marshall stack, and I don't want to get into too much of the BS, but these pickups are awesome pickups. These are Seth Lover 50th anniversary hand wound in the custom shop. So, and they actually, I don't know if you can see it really. It's hard to see it, but if you see it, it says Seth Lover on there. Now, the flame top on this thing is actually very beautiful. Very beautiful flame top. Back is beautiful, dirty. Let me wipe it off a little. Dirty, but beautiful. The neck on this guitar is chunky. You're gonna find that this guitar has a very chunky neck. But it's wide. It's wide like my BC Rich. I have a 1981 BC Rich, and it's wide like it's not quite as wide as the Rich, but it's wide and it gets a little wider up here like the Rich, but it's a little thicker this way. So it's not a ball bat, but it's a chunkier neck. It's not a Strat neck, that's for sure. But I like the chunkier neck. Oh, see, there we go. There's my pickup. I was worried about that. Yeah, I don't know I don't think it's the input jack. I think it's the toggle switch. So I'm gonna attack that first, because these toggle switches are notoriously known for. Here, you can hear it clicking. See, it's off now. Well, we might have to switch guitars. You dirty name. Oh, gosh. Why does it have to happen now? Oh, well, maybe because we're off. There we go. Yeah, these sounds a little bit out. Give me a second. also these strings on this particular guitar are really old. I've been playing this thing a lot, and I actually can see little indentations from the frets in the strings. So I think it's time to change them. So we'll get to that as soon as can, and I'll do another little slight setup on it, whatever it may need adjustment wise. I've taken some of the saddles too. If you look at the saddles, they're different. This one here is the only one that's actually facing the right way. I turned these all around so I could get more movement out of them backwards. You have to be careful when you're changing, if you do change these, because there is a little metal retainer bar or spring steel piece of metal here that it holds in the screws. They're a pain in the rumpus to take out and put in, and to take that little retainer spring out. It's spring steel, and it's just like a wire though, you know what I mean? But it'll hold its shape. Don't bend it too much. Be gentle with it, because you can bend it out of shape very easily. So yeah, this one I actually did bend it out of shape a little bit, and I was getting a vibration of my screw on the bridge on the E string. So that was a pain in the rumpus. I hope this guitar is really loud. This guitar is I bought this guitar at Guitar Center, and I actually paid only $400 for it with a case. And they threw in a hard shell case for it, so I didn't want to put it. I thought it was too pretty to not put it in a hard shell case. You know, right now, like I say, I need to wipe it down. But I'm home and I'm retired, and I just kind of do my favorite band is obviously Rush. So we are in a Rush tribute band here in Chicago, and that's one of the main reasons I got this, is because, what does it say? It says Rush. So I got this, and I didn't want to make this video too long, but here real quick, I'm gonna turn this really clean, and we'll turn the chorus off. And we'll leave a little reverb on, and we can hear what this guitar sounds like without some distortion on it. That's clean with just the treble pickup. Clean with the rhythm middle pickup. Middle pickup, so it's like double pickup. Now the bass pickup. I don't know if you could hear it on the and just now, but that's why I don't really like this amp, because it cannot handle certain tones. The speaker is not the greatest in the world, so I can't turn it up super loud. I don't use this rig on stage anyway. This rig is purely for at home and practicing and learning new tunes and being close to my computer and all that stuff. So, you know. So let's listen to it without any of the processor. So that's basically our sound without the processor, that with the treble pickup. bass pickup. Then we'll go back to the processor now. So now we got our reverb. And some compression. That's all we got right now is basically reverb and compression. Open chords and stuff, not too many leads, because I want you to really hear what the chords sound like. You know, those pickups, these pickups, I know they're quite expensive on eBay or on Reverb and places like that. And I feel very lucky that I got these for free. Actually, they were given to me, and I sat on them and sat on them and sat on them for a long time until I finally got a guitar that I thought was worth putting them in. And I don't know, do you really need to buy a real ES335, or can you go out and buy a dot like this? I don't know, man. I've played the ES335s. Yes, sometimes they have a nicer neck, but it's a different neck. It's not the same neck as this. So, I mean, you can't expect it to be the same guitar. You know, just like I have a Harleybenton. The Harleybenton neck, it reminds me a lot of a Fender neck, but a little flatter. You know, their pickups are not the greatest in the world, but the guitar itself is not too bad. If you hold on a second, I'll go get it and we'll take a listen to see what that sounds like. We gotta do something. We don't want a bunch of noise, do we? Well, we add noise anyway. Pause. Okay, I'm back. That was quick, huh? This is the Harleybenton CST 24T. Beautiful freaking flame maple top. Unbelievable. I hope you can see it in the light. Wow, it's kind of hard to hold it away from the camera. There's not a lot of light in this room. It's more coming from behind me. But maybe if I put it this way or something, you can see it in the light. Beautiful cherry sunburst. Now, as I was saying before, the neck is very, very small, and it's flat this way. So we'll give this a turn up. And what I do with this one is to give it a little bit more oomph. Because the pickups are thin here, I'll play the guitar without the chorus. When bypass, let's turn it up a little bit. It's out of tune. Out of tune, of course. No, maybe not. See, it's got a bright, chimey sound. So it's very chimey, very chimey. So what I do is I roll back on the tone a little bit, and cuts it back a little bit. I gotta say the Harleybenton guitars, I haven't had a problem with the switch yet. I did when I got it at home the first day. The neck was pretty far out of adjustment. And then thank you that they sent us the right wrenches to make the adjustment. So I made the adjustment to the neck. The intonation was very close. The strings were junk, so I changed those right away. I have to say that the electronics, the pots, are very reactive. You don't... See how it doesn't just go all the way up at like a quarter of the knob turn. So they're pretty reactive. So that's all the way up. It's hard to judge halfway with these because there's no numbers on them or no indicator, so you don't know. And so that's about halfway. Go a little further down. So they're pretty reactive. I think we were about 5/8 of the way down there. Okay, so the tone pot is actually pretty reactive too. So now we'll turn the tone all the way up. So now, let's hear it with both pickups. Bass pickup. And the treble pickup. So we got the treble pickup there. Now let's go a little dirty. So we're gonna put on a little bit of distortion and a little bit of delay and a little bit of chorus. Got a pretty good distorted sound. It's got pretty good definition in the pickups. So I like her. I do. I really do. At first, I had to kind of get used to it. The one thing that I did notice right off the bat, if you look, the input jack is out of alignment. It should be a little tilted one way or the other. And I did put strap locks on, which went on very easily. I used the new Schaller S-locks, I think they're called. Yeah. And I had to. The first thing you have to do is adjust the springs. Take this back cover off, get to those springs because it is so tight when you first get the guitar home. What else? There are some little imperfections in the finish. There's a little imperfection right here on the heel, which would be very hard to show on a camera. There's a little imperfection right around the binding here. I can't show either because it would be too hard to show on a camera. But other than that, the platform is amazing. We have a 4-piece mahogany body with a 3-piece mahogany neck, no scarf joint. The tuners are not of Schaller quality. The micro tuning is kind of difficult, but once you get her in tune, she stays pretty good unless you use the whammy bar. If you use the whammy bar on this guitar, unless you use it very subtly and very easily, you're going to throw this thing out of tune. The G goes immediately out. And that could be from the head nut too. You could put a little graphite in the head nut, but this is supposed to be a Graphtec head nut. So and another thing I have to bring up too is that this guitar, for some reason or another, it's not super bad. I don't know if I can get you to hear it with no sound here, but when the guitar is played just natural, like you're sitting here, the B, the G, and the E strings buzz right there. And I've done everything I thought I could do so far, but short of a fret file to eliminate that little bit of buzz. But it's not super bad. Hear it? Now I've been trying to get that little bit of buzz out for quite a while. Let's see what else. The bridge saddles are nice. I have this one set up right now so that the tailpiece is flat against the body because I'm really not using the whammy bar on this. I made it basically a hardtail because it's a pain in the ass. I think the biggest thing I'm going to do is change the pickups, and we'll see how that goes with a couple of Duncans in it. So let's go back to its sounds. We'll change it a little bit here. Put a little delay on, take the chorus off, give us a little vibe. So now that's the treble pickup. Volume all the way up. Tone rolled back some to where you feel comfortable with it. Not at full tone, because at full tone it's like it's kind of screechy, and I didn't really like that too much. I like it a little higher. But in a way, it is kind of neat because you can get two different guitar tones out of one guitar. You can get almost a Strat tone out of this. So it's very Stratty. Then you roll back on the tone a little bit, and you gotta. It gets a little more body. And that's why I like I do like their volume and tone control. It has a nice taper to it. They didn't skimp too much there. And the set neck is very nice. We got binding on the fingerboard, but there is not fret mark, but filing marks on the top of the binding. They didn't sand that down nice enough on both sides of the fingerboard, especially right in this area right here. So they did leave some marks there. Fret-wise, you don't feel anything because there is the binding here, so you don't feel anything. And again, with the tuners, they're regular tuners that come with the guitar, and I have to say that right now they hold the guitar in tune, and once you get it there, it'll stay. And unless you're crazy with the whammy bar, like I say. So I hope I'm not repeating myself too much. I'm an old guy, we get all silly. So. Yeah, this is the Harleybenton CST 24 Deluxe with a flame maple top. Wait, we gotta quiet it down a second. It's howling. It has Roswell pickups in it, but those are gonna soon be Seymour Duncans. So what I may do is in the future I may do a video that has these pickups like we just did, a little demonstration. Oh, and you know what I didn't demonstrate was the coil tap. This guitar comes with a coil tap, which is right here on the tone top, and you pull it out. And another thing I wanted to mention, so you guys do understand, is that if you want to use the whammy bar on this guitar, you have to put your whammy bar in, and it's your small Allen key that they give you with the guitar, and you have to tighten the screw. You don't tighten it super tight. You just make it kind of snug so that it's just a little tiny difficult to get the bar in there, and it doesn't want to fall out all the time or swing away from you all the time when you want it. You can get it to that just right tightness to where it is, you can move it and it won't fall out, but yet you can still pull it out. So like I say, mine is out right now. I won't use the whammy bar on this because I'm too crazy with it. I like to do dive. Now you can hear that maybe? I'm rolling back on the tone knob. So you can hear it, she's pretty well intonated and she's pretty well in tune. So that's basically my home stuff, and I have fun here at home. I'm a retired guy. I'm a retired pipe fitter, and I just hang out here at home and jam out and rock out, man. I hope you guys are doing the same. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Do I recommend the Harleybenton as a great platform to build yourself a mega machine? Yes, definitely. You may have to do a little fret work. You got to be a little handy guy. You can't just be a guy that takes his guitar to the luthier all the time. You got to get on the internet and look at videos, and don't be afraid, because this guitar cost $260 shipped to my house with a gig bag. And the gig bag's not the greatest in the world, but I have a better one that's all nice and felt on the inside, and I'll use that for it. Because and I don't know if I haven't taken the pickups out, so I don't know if it's a photo finish or if that is a real veneer finish. I haven't really looked yet, so we'll have to find that out. So that's the end of my video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and keep rocking. And you don't have to spend $3,000 on a guitar, man. You can. And another thing I want to mention, this is something I really got to mention. Don't buy a freaking Gibson. All you're doing is perpetuating the freaking nastiness that's going on between Gibson and them, and that's totally wrong. Don't buy a Gibson. If you're gonna buy a clone, buy a clone. This is a clone. Buy a clone. Don't buy a freaking Gibson. That's a ripoff, man. You're putting American workers out of work.